Welcome, beautiful buddies and gentlemen, family. We have the first Champions League match week prediction of this season. So excited. Basically, did a match prediction for every single Champions League game last season. And my predictions, they were good. But we're gonna do even better this time. First game to look at is Atletico Bilbao versus Arsenal, played at Atletico Bilbao's home stadium. And usually you would think Atletico Bilbao, it's a tough stadium to go to, but I've said it before. I think it's probably only a tough stadium in La Liga purely because United beat them there last year, which should not have happened at all. I mean, the final of the Europa League was played at the Atletico Bilbao Arena. They were so motivated to reach that final, but bottled it at the end. So I'm probably going to go with an Arsenal victory. Despite them not looking the best versus United and Liverpool, they looked good versus Leeds and in their recent game versus someone. So I think Arsenal will win this game by a 2-0 goal margin. Arsenal to get the victory versus Atletico Bilbao. Next game is PSV Eindhoven versus Union St-Gilloise. I mean, I think it's an easy PSV victory, probably even a stat pad session. I don't know how good Union Saint-Gilloise is, but I know PSV at home should get the job done. I'm going to say 3-1 to PSV Eindhoven. Moving into the next game, we have Benfica versus Qarabag in Portugal. Benfica versus Qarabag. What are we saying for this game? I mean, it should be a stat pad session. Yes, Benfica, they're being stronger Benfica sides before, but facing Qarabag at home, this is like the perfect game to have as the first game of the UEFA Champions League group stage. I'm going to go with a Benfica 4-0 in this game. Next up is Juventus versus Dortmund. Juventus obviously recently won a great 4-3 victory versus Inter Milan in Serie A. Dortmund, they've started well so far this season despite losing some players. This is a tough game. If there weren't other games around, this would be an interesting game to watch, but there are obviously better games to watch on Tuesday. The game is played at the Allianz Arena though, in Turin. So I'm going to go with a Juventus 3-2. Juventus haven't looked the best defensively under Igor Tudor. Both of these teams, I would say, are more offensive teams. So I'm going to go for a goal fest 3-2 to Juventus. Next game is Real Madrid versus Marseille. And to all Madrid fans, for this game, a la Madrid. I will be the biggest Madrid supporter versus Marseille. I want to see a stat pad session. I want to see an Mbappe hat-trick. I want to see Vini dancing like this on Marseille. I wish this game was being played at the Velodrome. It would be an even bigger humiliation. Marseille, obviously, they're very bad. Their Champions League record recently is extremely bad. But, on the other hand, this is the best Marseille side that has been in the Champions League. I mean, the best Marseille side for basically the past 10, 14 seasons. I remember the best Marseille as a PSG fan I witnessed was probably our first season. They had Gignac up top. That was a good team. So, and Madrid have looked good so far. But Marseille, De Zerbi, I know that De Zerbi, when he usually played the big teams in the Premier League at Brighton, he got good results. So I think he's a little bit of a beast slayer. But I'm still going to go with Real Madrid to get the victory in this game. 3-1 to Real Madrid. Next up is Tottenham Hotspurs versus Villarreal. Two teams that have started off well this season. Villarreal sitting on, I think, 7 points in La Liga. They should have had 9 if they didn't concede a goal in the last minute. And Tottenham Hotspurs, they started off well, beating the likes of Manchester City, taking Paris Saint-Germain to penalties in the UEFA Super Cup. Good game. Like, if you're someone that likes good football, this will be a good football game, I believe. At Spurs Stadium, though, I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 Spurs victory. Next up, we have Olympiacos versus Paphos. Greece versus Cyprus, a bit of a derby here. Gonna go with Olympiacos to win 3-0 versus Paphos FC in Greece as well. Next up is Slavia Prague versus Bodo Glimt. I mean, 2 dead games in a row here. Bodo Glimt actually a very interesting side. They've been climbing up the ranks over there in Norway. They've had some good results in Europe as well. I remember when they beat AC Milan, they were obviously in the semi-final of the Europa League last season, I believe, against Slavia Prague. Potentially were in the UCL last season. I'm not 100% sure. Even though it's away, I might back Bodo Glimt. I might back my Norwegian brothers for this game or go for a draw. You know what? I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1 between Slavia Prague and Bodo Glimt. Next up is Ajax Amsterdam versus Inter Milan. Interesting game. Inter, obviously, after losing the Juventus game, and they also lost versus Udinese, or if they drew, so they've been dropping some points in Serie A. They want to go back with a victory here. I don't really know how strong Ajax are. I know they lost to Jorel Hato, maybe probably someone else. I don't know. It's looking like a disgusting draw or an Inter away win. You know what? I'm gonna go a bit hot take here. Inter 2-1 victory away at Ajax Amsterdam. Next up is Bayern München versus Chelsea. Huge game. First big game so far. Bayern München have looked like the strongest side so far this season. Chelsea dropping points to Brentford, dropping points to Crystal Palace. The thing is, when I talk with Chelsea fans, they say that they struggle more against weaker sides, but play better against better sides. So, like when they're facing a team that is sitting back and D-block and everything, they struggle more. Bayern will obviously be open, try to have possession at the Allianz Arena. Ooh, very interesting game. Could be a Bayern 3-1, Bayern just too strong, too good, Champions League experience, or it could be, Chelsea versus PSG in that Club World Cup final. So that's why I like this game. Unfortunately, I will not be able to watch it as Paris Saint-Germain play at the same time. But the thing I like about this game, it will tell us how good are Chelsea. We know how good Bayern are, one of the best teams in the world, great start to the season, many great players, but we don't really know how great Chelsea are because yes, they've done a lot of stuff in the Premier League, finished fourth and everything, but as you all know, I don't rate the Premier League like that. It's not a standard. What they did in the Club World Cup is really great, but they only face Paris Saint-Germain as a tough European opponent and a tough opponent overall, I would say. And it was a little bit of a fugazi match in that final. But, you know what? I'm going to go for the first option. Champions League experience will win this game. I'm going to go for a Bayern München 3-1 victory over Chelsea. You know what? 3-2 victory over Chelsea FC. Next up is Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid, one of the greatest hate watches. I remember Paris Saint-Germain just advanced versus Dortmund, and I was watching Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool on the train going home. And that's when Morata scored, Simeone celebration and everything. Game gonna be played at Anfield again. Atletico Madrid have had questionable start, dropping points versus Alaves and some other rubbish team, but then beating Villarreal in the last match day, which was a great victory for Atletico Madrid. It's a huge game. Huge game. I mean, this will be, yes, Liverpool have faced Arsenal, the so-called best team in the Premier League, but I think this is a game where we can see how good are Liverpool. I'm still unsure if Isak would start. It depends if he starts today against Burnley when I'm recording this video. Liverpool, Atletico. I'm probably going to edge it to Liverpool. It will be a tough game, but I'm going to edge it to Liverpool 2-1. It could be more. You know what? I'm going to respect Liverpool a bit more. I'm going to give Liverpool a 3-1 victory in this game. And next up we have Paris Saint-Germain versus Atalanta. The reigning Champions League winners versus Atalanta. Great game. I've already seen Atalanta. They're missing some couple of good players going into this game. We obviously all remember the memorable game between Paris Saint-Germain and Atalanta in the Champions League previously. And this is a great game. This will be a great game. Atalanta don't park the bus, don't play defensive. Paris Saint-Germain obviously will be missing Ousmane Dembélé and Desiree Doué for this tie, but that shouldn't be a problem. I'm predicting Paris Saint-Germain with a comfortable 3-0 victory. Moving on, we have Club Brugge versus Monaco. Monaco should get the job done. I think they already played Club Brugge last season in the Champions League group stage. Probably won that game. Even though the game is played away in Bruges, I'm going to go for a Liga and McDonald's victory. 2-1 to AS Monaco. Next up is Copenhagen versus Leverkusen. Leverkusen obviously recently sacked Ten Hag but won their recent game. So they're coming in with a slight more positive momentum into this game. Copenhagen game to be played in their stadium. First time back since the year before when they were obviously in the group stage with Manchester United, Galatasaray and Bayern München. Bayer Leverkusen should be winning this game. They should be winning this game. I'm going to go 3-1 by Leverkusen. Next up is Frankfurt versus Galatasaray. Interesting game right here. German versus Turkish. The thing about Galatasaray is they're such a battling institution. Like Galatasaray have had so many great teams, have had so many great opportunities. I remember when they were in the group stage with United and Bayern and Copenhagen, they should have gone through at the second place. But I think Copenhagen went through as the second place because Galatasaray just bottled it, especially the games they were playing at home. Like they played some great football, but not taking your chances, conceding stupid goals. But the game is away. I don't really know how good Frankfurt are. I'm going to give a Galatasaray. You know what? Let's go for a draw. 2-2 versus Galatasaray and Frankfurt. Manchester City versus Napoli. Kevin De Bruyne returns to the Etihad only a couple of months after leaving them. Napoli have looked good. They picked up all points. I mean, that's a Conte side. They don't look great. They look good, consistent. Pick up the points. Do what you got to do. But Antonio Conte in the Champions League is one. I think Antonio Conte is the worst manager when you look at his overall career and then his Champions League career. I don't think anyone drops that much when it comes to the UEFA Champions League. And for that reason, I'm going to go for a 2-1 tough victory to Manchester City. Next up is Newcastle versus FC Barcelona, a game I will be watching. I will be doing a live watch along on Real Madrid and Marseille. Potentially might start it early and watch Arsenal, Atletico Bilbao. And for the second day, Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, there's no good early game. Here, if I'm bored, I maybe watch Monaco Club Rouge, but I'm here for Barca Newcastle on Thursday. Great game to watch. We obviously remember Paris Saint-Germain going to St. James Park. We all know what happened there. Barcelona will obviously be without Lamine Yamal, Pablo Gavi, Alejandro Balde. Maybe pick up another injury. So it's going to be a very tough game for Barca. And I'm feeling two stuff. I'm feeling either Newcastle get a similar kind of performance and victory like they did against us, or Barca get like a Benfica kind of victory where they concede, a lot of tough stuff from Newcastle, but Barca just survive through it. Rafinha gets the winner or something. But I'm leaning more towards the Newcastle victory. I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to Newcastle United, exploiting the flick high line in the beginning of the game and then sitting back. And without Yamal, it will be very hard. I mean, it will have to be a Pedri carry job in this game, as it's been basically every single Barca game. Sporting Lisbon versus Kairat Almaty should be an easy victory for Sporting Lisbon. We don't have to discuss this game more. 3-0 to Sporting Lisbon versus the Kazakhstan debutants. That's been it for the full Match Week 1 Champions League prediction. Hopefully, guys, have enjoyed this video. If you want to, you can let me know what's your predictions in the comments down below. Maybe for your favorite team going into Match Week 1 of the UEFA Champions League. That's been it from boy PSG. And hopefully, guys, have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, allez, allez Paris!